Did you know that by the time we reach our 80s, we may have lost up to 50% of our muscle mass compared to our younger years? This condition is called sarcopenia, and it silently affects millions of older adults around the world. It's one of the leading causes of weakness, falls, and a gradual loss of independence as we age. But here's the truth that few people talk about: muscle loss is not inevitable. In fact, there are people in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s who are still hiking, dancing, lifting weights, and living full, active lives. What's their secret? It doesn't come down to good luck or perfect genetics. Science now tells us that with the right habits, we can slow down muscle loss, maintain strength, and even rebuild muscle well into old age. In this video, we're going to explore 7 powerful, research-backed habits that can help you, or your loved ones, stay strong, mobile, and independent for many years to come. From nutrition tips and smart exercise, to simple lifestyle tweaks that support your muscles and your brain, every strategy we'll share is practical and achievable. Whether you're caring for an aging parent, planning for your own healthy aging, or simply curious about what it takes to thrive in your later years, this video is for you. Let's uncover how small, consistent changes can lead to big, life-changing results. Your journey toward strength and vitality in your golden years starts now. Let's start with something a little unusual, something called hormetic stress. Now, that might sound technical or even a bit intimidating, but the concept is actually very simple and incredibly powerful. Hormesis is the idea that exposing your body to small, controlled amounts of stress can actually make it stronger over time. Think of it like training your body to adapt and grow more resilient. A great example: cold exposure. You've probably seen people online taking icy cold plunges or ending their showers with freezing water. It looks uncomfortable, right? But here's what's fascinating: short-term cold exposure can activate special proteins in your body that help repair muscle tissue, reduce inflammation, and boost your metabolism. In fact, cold exposure stimulates mitochondrial biogenesis. In other words, it helps your cells produce more energy, which is essential for muscle maintenance. Just 30 seconds of cold water at the end of your shower can have measurable benefits over time. On the other end of the temperature spectrum, we have heat exposure, like using a sauna. And the science here is just as exciting. A long-term Finnish study showed that regular sauna users had up to 40% less muscle loss compared to those who didn't use saunas. Why? Because heat helps trigger heat shock proteins, which protect muscle cells and improve recovery after exercise. So whether it's heat or cold, these good stressors teach your body to bounce back stronger. They also stimulate circulation, reduce chronic inflammation, and support hormonal balance, all of which are essential for healthy aging. Now, let's be clear, this doesn't mean you need to jump into an ice bath tomorrow or sit in a 200-degree sauna every day. Start small. Maybe try finishing your shower with 30 seconds of cool water. Or if you have access to a sauna, aim for 1 to 2 sessions a week and see how you feel. It's not about extreme discomfort, it's about gentle, regular challenges that help your body grow stronger. Hormetic stress is like exercise for your cells. And just like lifting weights builds muscle, these microstressors help your body build resilience from the inside out. Now that we've talked about building resilience through hormetic stress, let's move on to something equally important: how and when you eat protein. We all know protein is essential for building and maintaining muscle. But here's what many people don't realize: timing matters just as much as quantity, especially as we age. Most older adults tend to eat a small amount of protein at breakfast, a bit at lunch, and then a large portion at dinner. But research shows that this uneven distribution isn't ideal for stimulating muscle growth. Instead, what your body really needs is a consistent intake of protein throughout the day. Why? Because your muscles respond better to regular doses of protein, especially in the morning and afternoon when muscle protein synthesis tends to slow down with age. The sweet spot seems to be around 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein per meal. This amount helps activate a process in the body called muscle protein synthesis, basically, the building and repair of muscle tissue. So, what does that look like in real life? Imagine starting your day with a protein-rich breakfast, maybe scrambled eggs, Greek yogurt, or a smoothie with a scoop of protein powder and nut butter. Then at lunch, add a portion of chicken, tofu, lentils, or fish with your salad or soup. And at dinner, continue the trend with something hearty, grilled salmon, lean beef, or a plant-based protein bowl. This kind of spread keeps your muscles fed and responsive, helping you retain strength and energy throughout the day. Another tip? Try to combine protein with movement. A short walk or light strength training before or after eating can enhance your body's ability to absorb and use the protein you consume. And for those with smaller appetites, protein shakes can be a great addition, easy to digest and convenient between meals. The bottom line is this: as we age, our muscles need a little more encouragement. By simply shifting when and how often we consume protein, we can make a huge difference in maintaining strength, improving recovery, and preventing the muscle loss that comes with aging. So don't just focus on eating enough protein, focus on spreading it out wisely. Let's turn to something that's often overlooked, but absolutely vital when it comes to maintaining muscle strength: vitamin D. You've probably heard it called the sunshine vitamin, but did you know that vitamin D plays a critical role in muscle function and balance? In fact, low levels of vitamin D are directly linked to muscle weakness, slower reflexes, and even a higher risk of falls, especially in older adults. Here's the challenge: as we age, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. At the same time, we tend to spend more time indoors, avoiding direct sun exposure. As a result, over 80% of people over 65 are deficient in vitamin D, and many don't even know it. So, what can we do? First, it helps to understand how vitamin D supports your muscles. It improves calcium absorption, which is essential for muscle contraction and nerve signaling. Without enough vitamin D, your muscles can't perform efficiently, and recovery after exercise becomes slower and less effective. That's why optimizing your vitamin D levels can lead to better muscle strength, better balance, and even improved mood and immune function. Now, the best source of vitamin D is still natural sunlight. Just 10 to 20 minutes of sunlight on your skin, arms, legs, or face several times a week can help your body produce a healthy amount. But in many places, especially during winter or for those with darker skin tones, that might not be enough. That's where diet and supplements come in. Foods rich in vitamin D include fatty fish like salmon or mackerel, egg yolks, and fortified dairy or plant milks. But even with a good diet, some people still don't reach optimal levels. In these cases, a vitamin D supplement can make a big difference. Most health experts recommend having your levels checked with a simple blood test, then adjusting your intake accordingly, typically between 1,000 to 2,000 IU per day for older adults, unless your doctor advises otherwise. So, if you want to support your muscles from the inside out, don't forget the sunshine vitamin. It may seem small, but its impact on strength, stability, and long-term independence is huge. Let's talk about a hidden enemy of muscle health: chronic inflammation. Inflammation is your body's natural defense system. When you are injured or fighting an infection, inflammation helps you heal. But when inflammation sticks around for too long, especially as we age, it starts doing more harm than good. In fact, chronic low-grade inflammation has been linked to faster muscle loss, reduced strength, and even greater risk of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart problems. Some scientists even have a name for it: inflammaging, the kind of silent, ongoing inflammation that gradually wears down your body from the inside out. But here's the good news: you can actively reduce inflammation through simple daily habits. One of the biggest factors? Sleep. When we don't get enough high-quality sleep, the body becomes more inflamed. Muscles don't recover properly, hormone levels go out of balance, and fatigue sets in. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of restful sleep each night. That means keeping your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet, maybe even trying calming routines before bed, like light stretching or a warm herbal tea. Next up, your diet. The food you eat plays a powerful role in either fueling inflammation or fighting it. A diet high in processed foods, added sugars, and unhealthy fats can increase inflammation. But when you focus on whole foods, like leafy greens, berries, fatty fish, olive oil, nuts, and turmeric, you give your body the nutrients it needs to protect and repair your muscles. And don't forget about exercise. But here's the trick: too much intense exercise can increase inflammation, especially if you don't recover properly. The goal is balance. Combine strength training with light aerobic movement like walking or swimming, and always leave time for rest and recovery. Stress also plays a role. Emotional stress raises cortisol levels, which can damage muscle tissue over time. Practicing daily relaxation, whether it's through breathing exercises, meditation, or simply spending time in nature, can lower inflammation and support overall well-being. So, managing inflammation isn't about doing one big thing, it's about layering small, daily habits that work together to create a healthier, stronger body. Because when inflammation goes down, your muscle power, energy, and mental clarity go up. Now let's shift gears and talk about something small, but mighty: micronutrients. We often think of muscles and imagine protein. But muscles aren't just built from protein, they're powered, repaired, and protected by vitamins and minerals that work quietly behind the scenes. And as we get older, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing many of these nutrients, which means deficiencies can sneak up on us without warning. Let's start with a big one: magnesium. This mineral is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, including muscle contraction and relaxation. Low magnesium levels can lead to cramping, fatigue, and even muscle weakness. You can find magnesium in foods like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and whole grains, but supplementation may be helpful if you're not getting enough from food alone. Another key player is creatine. Now, you might think of creatine as something only bodybuilders use, but the truth is, it's incredibly beneficial for older adults. Creatine helps your muscles generate quick bursts of energy, improves performance during resistance training, and even supports brain function. And yes, it's safe. A small daily dose of 3 to 5 grams can help preserve muscle and strength over time. Next up, B vitamins, especially B6, B12, and folate. These vitamins are essential for energy production and nerve function. Without them, your muscles may feel tired, your reflexes may slow, and your coordination can suffer. Unfortunately, many older adults, especially those on certain medications, are deficient in B12 and don't even know it. So, what can you do? First, eat the rainbow: colorful fruits and vegetables, legumes, whole grains, lean meats, and dairy. These whole foods naturally contain the micronutrients your body needs. Second, consider getting a blood test to check your levels. It's one of the easiest ways to identify hidden deficiencies. And third, talk to your doctor or nutritionist about supplements if necessary. Sometimes a high-quality multivitamin or a targeted supplement can fill in the gaps where diet falls short. The truth is, micronutrients are like tiny spark plugs. They may be small, but without them, the engine just doesn't run. Support your muscles with the nutrients they need, and your body will thank you with more energy, better movement, and faster recovery. Let's move on to something that most people rarely think about when it comes to aging and muscle health: your brain's connection to your muscles. This connection is called the neuromuscular system, and it works like a two-way street. Your brain sends signals to your muscles to move, and your muscles send feedback to your brain to adjust, balance, and respond. It's a beautiful, complex partnership, but like any relationship, it needs regular maintenance. As we age, these signals can slow down. That's why some older adults may notice changes in coordination, reaction time, and balance, even if they're still relatively strong. And if we don't challenge the brain-muscle connection, it weakens over time, making us more prone to falls, slower movement, and even injury. The good news is, you can train and protect this connection, just like you would any muscle. One powerful way to do this is through coordination-heavy activities, things that require your brain and body to work together in real time. Think of dancing, tai chi, table tennis, or even playing catch. These movements challenge your nervous system and keep your reflexes sharp. Another great tool? Balance exercises. Try standing on one leg while brushing your teeth, or walking heel to toe across the room. Simple challenges like these force your brain to adapt and improve the communication between your nerves and muscles. And don't underestimate the power of mental stimulation. Puzzles, memory games, or learning new skills, like a language or musical instrument, don't just keep your brain sharp. They also support the parts of your brain involved in motor control. You can even combine brain and body challenges. For example, try learning a new dance routine, or play a sport that requires strategy and quick thinking. These types of activities are especially powerful for protecting both muscle function and cognitive health as you age. In short, if you want to keep moving well, you need to keep thinking while moving. Preserve that brain-muscle connection, and you'll not only stay stronger, you'll stay quicker, more agile, and more confident in your movements. Because in the end, movement isn't just about muscle, it starts in the mind. And now, we've arrived at what may be the most important habit of all when it comes to preserving muscle and strength as we age: resistance exercise. Let's get one thing straight: losing muscle with age isn't just natural, it's often the result of not challenging our muscles enough. The body is smart. If you don't use your muscles, it assumes you don't need them, and it starts to break them down. But the opposite is also true. When you challenge your muscles, even in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, your body responds by building them back stronger. That's where resistance training comes in. Resistance exercise simply means any movement that causes your muscles to contract against some form of resistance. That could be weights, resistance bands, your own body weight, or even water in a pool. And the benefits? They go far beyond just bigger muscles. Regular resistance training improves bone density, balance, metabolism, joint health, and even mental well-being. It can help reduce the risk of falls, manage blood sugar, and make everyday tasks, like getting up from a chair or climbing stairs, feel easier and safer. Now, here's the thing: most seniors don't push themselves enough during workouts. Walking is great for your heart, but it's not enough to maintain or grow muscle mass. Your muscles need progressive overload. That means gradually increasing the challenge over time. Heavier weights, more reps, slower tempo, or new movements. And you don't have to start with a gym membership or fancy equipment. Bodyweight exercises like squats, wall push-ups, or step-ups can be done right at home. Start small, with just 2 to 3 sessions a week, and build from there. What matters most is consistency and progression. Not sure where to start? Consider working with a certified trainer who specializes in older adults. They can help you build a program that's safe, effective, and actually enjoyable. Remember, it's never too late. Research shows that even people in their 90s can build new muscle through proper resistance training. So don't wait. Pick up those light weights, stretch that resistance band, or try a chair squat. Every rep is an investment, not just in muscle, but in mobility, confidence, and independence for years to come. So there you have it, 7 powerful habits that can help you preserve muscle, maintain strength, and enhance your overall health and vitality as you age. It's not just about avoiding sarcopenia or muscle loss, it's about empowering yourself to live an active, independent life well into your golden years. To recap, we've covered the importance of hormetic stress, using controlled stressors like cold and heat to stimulate muscle growth. We've talked about protein timing, ensuring you're fueling your muscles throughout the day, not just at one big meal. We've discussed how vitamin D plays a crucial role in muscle function, especially as we get older. We've also learned how managing inflammation through good sleep, a balanced diet, and moderate exercise can protect your muscles. Then, we took a deep dive into the power of micronutrients, like magnesium, creatine, and B vitamins, which help support muscle performance. We also highlighted the importance of preserving neuromuscular connections, the link between your brain and muscles that keeps you agile and quick. And finally, we explored resistance exercise, the most effective way to not only build muscle but to also keep it strong for years to come. Remember, it's never too late to start. You don't need to make drastic changes overnight, but small, consistent habits can lead to huge improvements over time. So whether it's adding a few extra minutes of resistance training or focusing on a more balanced diet, each step brings you closer to maintaining strength, mobility, and independence. Now, it's time for you to take action. Choose one habit to start with and see how it can change your life. Here's to a stronger, healthier future, one step at a time.